Favor? Carried. Next up is the minutes of our last regular meeting. Take a motion. Councillor Waters, thank you very much. Is there any errors or omissions within those minutes? All those in favor? Carried. Okay, next is correspondence.
I'll be taking that, Your Worship. This is a letter from Legacy for Health, June 9th, 2021, addressed to Mayor and Council. Your Worship and Council, with COVID-19 restrictions being lifted and normal activities slowly resuming, the members of Legacy for Health thought the time would be right to reach out and express our appreciation to the town of Vegreville for granting us the opportunity to function as a walking club out of the Vegreville Centennial Library Gymnasium. Since 2006, our group has met to walk on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. The library gymnasium has served us well, and it is our intent to continue this activity after COVID-19 restrictions are lifted. Over the years, Legacy for Health has provided many individuals with a safe place to walk, particularly all in the winter. Individuals join our walking group for fitness, weight loss, social needs, medical reasons, all of which contribute to wellness. Our membership is comprised mainly of seniors. However, all ages are encouraged to join. Legacy for Health would be pleased if you would once again give consideration to our use of the library gymnasium for walking as outlined above. We hope to continue our partnership with the town of Vegreville in this invaluable initiative for the citizens of our community. Thank you for your interest and consideration, and please contact the President for more information or if discussion is required. And that's signed by George Barclay, the President, Legacy for Health.
Okay, we'll take a motion to receive and file. Councillor Barry, any discussion?
And just so everyone knows that after AHS has left after their contract, Legacy for Health will be more than welcome back, as well as the other groups that used it prior to COVID.
And if you could just refresh us, when is the expected date for the Alberta Health to be leaving the facility?
July 31st is when our current contract expires, and they don't foresee it being extended beyond that.
Right. Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion? Carried. Thank you, Phil. Next up, Paul Casey.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is the monthly cash statement for the month of May 2021. We began the month with $8,538,949. We ended the month with $9,158,038, so an increase in cash of $619,089. Obviously, the major source of cash during the month was property taxes, which we collected $1,165,441. And the major expenditures during the month were MPE Engineering for 2021 Capital Works in Southeast 17, Vantage Builders for the renovations at the Event Center for $42,000. Sorry, the MPE Engineering fee was $50,688. And then our regular monthly utilities of $86,252, and our water bill from John S. Patouk for $86,043.
Okay, I'll take a motion. Okay, Councillor Brozjak, thank you. Anybody have any questions of Paul regarding the statement? So you brought up there was some early property tax that was paid.
Well, we had our levy on May the 8th, and so that's since May the 8th. We've collected that much. To the end of today, we've collected about 46.5% of our levy, which is similar to where we were at this time last year.
Right, and is the same as last year. Our regular due date is June 30th.
Correct.
But we will not be enforcing a penalty until September?
Till October 1st.
October 1, okay.
Yeah.
As long as everybody knows it. Okay. All those in favor of this as it was presented? Thank you very much. Okay, you're up again there, Director Rowe.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is a request for council decision for the wayfinding master plan approval. Proposal to approve the wayfinding master plan that was presented to Town Council on Thursday, June 17, 2021. In the background, in March of 2020, Town Council tasked administration with developing a plan to update all wayfinding signs within the community. On Thursday, June 17th, 2021, the wayfinding master plan was presented to Town Council to include an upgrade to all town wayfinding signage, highway pylon signage, and tourism directional signage. The communication strategy, the wayfinding master plan, will be posted on the town's website and through social media channels. Recommendation is that Town Council approve the wayfinding master plan as presented.
Okay, well, I'll take a motion on the recommendation first. Okay, Councilor Riddick, and I'm sure we're gonna have some discussion. So, you're asking us to pass the plan?
Yes, that's correct, just to approve the plan. There will be a second RCD coming when I get updated prices, as we discussed on Thursday. So there'll be a separate RCD for getting all the signs completed. But this was just to approve the plan as presented.
And you'll also be bringing back some samples?
Yes.
Of the signs and how they're gonna be structured?
Yes.
Because I'm not sure that we have completely figured that out on the directional signs about if we're gonna be using symbols.
Yeah.
So I think we all wanna take a look at that first. So we're approving the plan, and then as we move down, if a little further down the road, we're gonna look at some more budget items in the plan and how the symbols may be used on what locations. Is everybody good with that definition of how this is gonna work? Okay. Okay, so, go ahead.
Just one question that I wanted to clarify. So the request for council decision says that the communication will be shared through our traditional channels. And it sounds like we'll be getting back information that we requested the last couple times that we've discussed, both the pricing and the examples. I'm just wondering about a timeline. What kind of time frame can we expect or hope that we would get this information back?
I'm hoping to have all this in place for the next council meeting. Actually, I'm hoping to have it all for Ledge, and we can have some discussion there. And then the next RCD for the following council meeting, so that we can start getting the signs manufactured and installed over the summer.
I think that'd be realistic, that if you can get us some samples and some pricing to the next Ledge meeting, that we can start making some progress moving forward here, so. Okay, does anybody else have anything they want to bring on the wayfinding plan? Okay then, all those in favor? Carried. Thank you, Director Rowe. Next up, Cliff Craig.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is a memo to Town Council regarding Deputy Mayor appointment. At the organizational meeting held on October 23rd, 2017, Council decided that each councillor would serve as Deputy Mayor for a period of 4 months, so twice in their 4-year term. Following the schedule presented at the organizational meeting, the next Deputy Mayor is to be Councillor Ann Waters. So the recommendation is that Councillor Ann Waters be appointed Deputy Mayor for the term June 28, 2021 to October 25, 2021.
Okay, we'll take a motion for that. Councilor Lemko. Any discussion? Does anybody want to tell how their last appointment as deputy mayor went? It's pretty stressful. She looks ready to handle it, so. Seeing no more advice coming from the rest of council, all those in favor? Carried unanimously. Perfect. Thank you. Next up, we have the Vegreville Tourism Board, an appointee.
That's me, Your Worship. This is a memorandum to Town Council from the Vegreville Tourism Advisory Board, and the subject is board member appointment of Jocelyn Moyes. Recommendation that Town Council appoint Jocelyn Moyes as the real estate or professional services representative to the Vegreville Tourism Advisory Board with the term to expire in July 2023. The appointments will be in accordance with Bylaw 10-2019, Section 4.3F.
Okay, we'll be looking for a motion for this, the chair of the tourism board. Well, Councillor Warwick, thank you very much. You can be the first to speak on this.
Thank you. Just wanted to say this is a position that was open. As you probably remember, we've had a few positions change, so this helps round out our board. Jocelyn is 100% on board with this and excited to join us, and I think will be a great addition to the group. And we're looking forward as there's a lot of tourism events and activities coming forward.
Okay. Anybody else? Seeing no hands, all those in favor? Great, and I want to thank Jocelyn for putting her name forward and willing to support this board in our community. Okay, so that's it for the business. Pretty short agenda. Thank you, everybody, for taking care of everything else without our help. Next up, we'll go to council reports, and we're going to start on this side today. Councilor Lemko.
Thank you, Your Worship. On June 15th, I attended the Go East of Edmonton Advisory Board meeting. The topics of discussion there was a lot of the adventure board game. 42 communities are participating in it. There's a lot of traction on the Facebook requests that are coming in, and more of it for their Facebook page. Interesting comment, Elk Island talked about their membership fee. They're seeing between 600 to 1,000 vehicles per weekend, and they would wish to pay for advertising not to come to the Elk Island National Park on weekends, because they can't keep up to the amount of traffic. So it's interesting. And they got some grants. CARES itinerary, the Travel Alberta Digital Recovery. And so it was interesting. I think we're taking the rest of the summer off. 1 July and August, I believe. Next was the library board meeting. Lots of the discussion was on coming into, with the COVID restrictions being lifted, what it looks like for us. So a lot of discussion on that. Wayfinding presentation on the 17th. Sanka Park paddle boat launch on the 17th. The ledge meeting on the 22nd, and tonight's council meeting. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. On the 16th, the Vegreville Rural Physician Health Professionals Attraction Retention Subcommittee did a meet and greet with Dr. Siddiqui, and he is fitting in nicely. He has a complement of patients, trying to find him some suitable housing so he can have his family move here as well. That would be more beneficial than him being here and the rest over in Sherwood Park. So working on that with him. On the 17th, the wayfinding presentation. Thank you, Director Rowe and your staff. That was a lot of work put into that for sure, and a lot of more work to come. So exciting to see what happens from there. The only extra thing I will add to Councillor Lemko is on the 25th, healthcare aid update with Red Deer College, and that is seeming to be going along fairly smoothly. We have 5 enrolled. We need a minimum of 8 to start the class, but I think we're going to hit that because we have 4 pending applicants as well, and we're looking for more applicants. There's going to be another information virtual session on July 14th, so watch for those ads. And with that, we're also looking for instructors. Local instructors would be great. Some that we had from 2 years ago, they're just exhausted with the year that we had, so they do need a break. So if anybody's interested or knows of anyone that would be wanting to instruct, that would be super. And that is it for my report.
Thank you very much. Councilor Rudick.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'll just mention the things that are different than my colleagues. So I also did attend actually on June 16th, Dr. Siddiqui's meeting with him, and it's very nice to see a new physician in the community, and just being able to have that facility go back to regular operation. They've had a very busy time, so it's nice to be able to welcome a new physician to that practice as well. June 17th, the wayfinding presentation. Thank you, Director Rowe, for bringing that to council. There's a lot of exciting elements to that project, and I'm happy to see that coming to fruition. It's been a long time coming, so I've been waiting for a long time, so I'm eager, and as you know, always seek to find perfection as much as we possibly can, particularly in a big project like that. So thank you very much for my extensive questions, and I look forward to seeing what's coming forward with that. June 19th, the hazardous household waste roundup, and I attended, like I do every year, to clean out my own items from our garage, but I want to send out specific thank you and kudos to our staff. It was beyond busy. It has gotten progressively busier, so I'm interested to see what the numbers will be, and specific thanks and congratulations to the staff that were there, because they are always extremely professional, but it was busy. It was a continuous stream of vehicles there, very easy to unload, and I think the amount of advertising that we did with our communications this year really elevated the importance of people not only cleaning out their house of these items and making sure they keep out of the landfill, so really happy to see that effort paid off in the end. June 22nd, Legislative Committee meeting, and on the 24th, we had the Economic Development Advisory Board meeting, and we are getting faster and faster every time. A combined effort between changing some of our time and having a few extra people or short people on our board, depending on the day, but this last time we made it in an hour and a half, so we're getting faster. Lots of exciting things to talk about, and I'll just point out to this group here some of the information that was shared with our board, or from our board members there, is specifically about the hemp field day that's coming up on July 29th, and that will be from 9 to 12. It'll be a great opportunity to be able to highlight some of the industrial hemp projects and the prospects that are coming forward, and a good opportunity to be able to partner with local ag producers and industry experts in the community, as well as make sure that we continue to grow that relationship with Innotech. So really happy to see what's coming forward with that. We've got a lot of good news coming forward from the board members as well, specifically talking about some of the listings with real estate, the average time that items are on list, and the items that are selling. So really happy about how busy they've been for the beginning of the year, considering we're just entering what's traditionally the busiest period of the year for real estate. So for the last 3 months, there were more items sold, more personal or residential real estate items sold than there were last year. So really exciting to see what's coming forward for the community in that sense as well. And some good news in terms of the amount of construction that's happening locally, and really happy to see what's going to come forward with that moving forward, because we've got lots of construction, and we're just starting the busy season for some of our hotels, as well as those construction crews, both for town projects as well as private enterprise, will be moving to town. And again, just to mention the healthcare aid program, like Councillor Waters referenced, I would say that the pending ones will be definite registration, so we're already we have a successful registration, and we're looking to have a full complement. So we've already got 8 that we need to run the program, and hoping to have 16. So really exciting, and again, that continues to be the #1 posting in the area for all healthcare positions. So really excited to be able to partner with Alberta Health Services and Covenant Health to make sure that we provide employment and opportunity locally. And that's my report.
Thank you very much. Councillor Warwell.
Thank you. Obviously, a lot of the same meetings. June 17th, of course, the wayfinding presentation. And I just wanted to say about that a thank you to the staff, because I found that ever since we've had our wayfinding presentation, I found myself going into other communities and actually noticing their wayfinding, and realizing how many different types there are and how confusing it is. And I'm really looking forward to seeing something that is a good direction, and the communities that we've looked at that have strong wayfinding ends up making the town, I think, look a lot more modern, and I think that's a good thing for tourism. It's a good thing for economic development. So June 19th, I got to be part of Lemonade Day. I was part of the judging for the testing before. So the one thing I did want to say about the Lemonade Day, we had some stands to go visit, very creative, had a very nice day with them. But I think it's important for people to know how much work went into it, because it sort of sounds like a feel-good project, but it really is an entrepreneurship project. These kids that go in, Lemonade Day is supposed to be specifically about the ones in the program. So it's not just an open day throughout Alberta to, put up a stand. It's really important to know how much work the kids have to put into it to be part of that. And they, of course, have to come up with a recipe. They, of course, have to come up with a stand. But above that, they actually go to what they call Lemonade University, and they're required to present a business plan, to present basically like a loan situation for building their stands, and they have to, they've got, I'm gonna probably mess this one up, his worship might have to fix this when I say it wrong, but the motto they're told to follow, of course, is to save some, spend some, and share some, I believe is the third one. So they have to look at that model, let them know how they're repaying it, what they're going to do with it, and what they can also do to pay it forward, essentially. So I think it's really worth mentioning that, because I heard some people say, oh, it was a day for lemonade stands, but it's a day for so much more. So even after the kids may have an award for the best lemonade, and they may get an award for the best stand, it isn't all finished until their books are completed and handed in and reviewed, and it's a pretty elaborate point. So good on these young entrepreneurs. So I actually had a lot of fun.
And the business license.
And the business license, of course. That was a big thing too, which they displayed, and they had some creative, I'm looking forward to it again, obviously in non-COVID times, because it allowed them a little bit more creativity and expansion on their business. But it was really cute to see how they chose to decorate it, and even what little safety measures they would put forward, or in some case, like our one little gentleman by Pet Value there, he was focused. I can tell you that. The mayor wanted a picture, and he was remaking the lemonade and basically told the mayor to just hold on. He was squeezing some lemons, so it was great. The June 22nd legislative meeting as well, I got to take part in the paddle boats, and anyone who heard the talk of the town may have heard me accidentally say that Councillor Waters and I beat the mayor in the paddle boats, so that was fun, just saying. June 24th was a meeting with Minister Madu, and I'll let the mayor elaborate on that, but we had an opportunity to have, I think, a good conversation about safety and crime and issues impacting Vegreville. I do apologize that unfortunately they were using WebEx, and my camera worked until they started the meeting with a new staffer, and my camera kicked off. So I thought all the cameras kicked off and it was only mine, but I believe my audio was clear, which the minister may have wished kicked off as well. So that was fine though. That seemed to work. June 25th, of course, I did the taping for Talk of the Town, and just gave some little short overviews, but one of the things I highlighted we had discussed prior is that there is a lot of concern and apprehension as to restrictions. So I tried to emphasize a little bit the need as the restrictions lift. For some people that will help with some of their mental health anxieties, but there may be additional anxieties for others. So just a need to be respectful and kind, and remember that we don't know why some people may need or feel they have to observe some of the restrictions even after they lift. So just a be kind message, and excitement to look forward to everything opening up, and a lot of great tourism opportunities. So tonight's council meeting.
Thank you very much. Councillor Brojak.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have a lot of the same meetings that the rest of my councillors attended on June 17th, the wayfinding presentation, and thank you to our Community Services Director, Phil Rowe, and his staff for putting together such a great presentation. Look forward to having that finalized as well. On June 17th as well, the paddleboat launch, and I've had numerous kudos to this initiative. The people are thinking that it's just fantastic, and they're looking forward to maybe adding a few more boats. On June 22nd, Legislative Committee meeting. June 24th, the VDAB meeting, which is our Economic Development meeting. Councillor Rudick spoke on that one. June 28th, that's tonight's Town Council meeting. And I just want to add kudos to the VVA again, the Vegreville Visual Artists, on their Art Walk 2021. And looking forward to the completion of our walking trails. And that is my report.
Thank you very much. And Councillor Barry.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yes, many of the same meetings. On June 15th, though, as a member of the Hospital Community Board, I attended the memorial unveiling at St. Joe's General Hospital to remember some of the workers that have passed away that have put in many years there. And it's on the old helicopter pad. So there's the plaque there and room for additional plaques to be put on there as they choose names to put there. So I think it's a very nice memorial to the staff. June 17th, the wayfinding. I also find that the sign presentations are going to be very interesting once we see that come to conclusion. Ledge meeting on the 22nd. I rather enjoyed the paddle boat, even though I had trouble getting in and out of the boat and had a little trouble paddling. So, Councillor Rudick, I was very pleased that you were able to move me around the lake much easier. Yes, there's a lot of action going on there. There's a lot of people commenting on it. I know a number of the council have reposted, and you see a lot of comments coming back as to from around. I think that it's going to be a great idea, and I think that people are going to very, very much enjoy getting down there and paddling around that nice little pond. On the 25th, Vermilion River Watershed, we had our annual general meeting. Did the usual to comply with the general meeting and appointed a few more directors, but we're going to actually hold off our next board meeting until November, which is the time that we actually do the election for the executive, because that'll be post municipal election period, when you consider that the bulk of our membership are municipal councils. It only seems appropriate to wait until that point in time to actually pick a new executive. So the existing executive will stay in place until November. And tonight's regular council meeting, so I guess that's my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, I've had a busy few days. On the 15th, I taped a virtual welcome to Pasenka Festival. Myself and our media guide over here, Jameson, we worked on something. He did the best he could with what he had to work with, I'm sure, so it'll go from there. And also on the 15th, we had the Vegreville Blue Jays, no longer the Holden Blue Jays, the Vegreville Blue Jays. I threw out the first pitch of the first game of the year. On the 17th, their wayfinding presentation, and again, like everybody else, I was happy to get this plan passed and move forward, and it was a very good demonstration. Well done. The paddle boats, well, it was a lot of fun for sure. I jumped on the back of one in the kids' seats, and that didn't go very good. But then we had the ledge meeting on the 22nd. On the 23rd, Councillor Lemko and myself were at A.L. Horton. And the Little Red Ice Cream Wagon had been contracted to serve every kid in the school an ice cream. But he couldn't serve them and decorate them at the same time, so he brought in some assistants. And we went at it. I think we did about 220 cones for the first shift, and then we ran away as fast as we could. Go ahead.
It's a good thing they had a lunch break
Yeah.
at 11:30, so we got a reprieve.
It was hard to come up with a different face for every cone of ice cream after a while. You only have so many candies you can work with. So, but it was a lot of fun, and I would hope that they keep doing that, and everybody on council gets a chance to do it, because it is you get to see those smiling faces. Also on the 23rd, I met Her Honor, the Lieutenant Governor, Selma Lakahani. I think I pronounced it right, and I had a virtual meeting with her, and this is how she's getting through her first posting and the first term at this position. And so she's reaching out to all the municipalities virtually and talking to mayors and stuff. And it was a very good chat. Very impressed with her. She's a very caring person, and her life has been very interesting from to where she started and where she's at today. And she said that she wants to come and visit. And I said, well, I'm sure you say that to everybody. She said, I do, but I'm going to come visit you. So, She was a real pleasure to talk to her. And on the 23rd, Alberta Hub had its AGM, and a lot like other boards right now that's made up of all elected officials. So we put off the election until after the next municipal election. So, but they're bouncing back after losing Bob. They're reshaping the organization a bit, and of course the funding that was coming from the provincial government is not there anymore. So we're getting close to see how that's going to look moving forward with that, the board itself and the program. And on the 24th, like Councillor Warlow said, we had our meeting with Minister Madu, the Minister of Justice, and the Solicitor General, and basically we talked about the catch and release program is what we call it here, but how it's actually affecting our municipality. Because every time there's another file opened in our municipality, it goes against how many officers we need. And now if 9 people are looking like they're in 34% of the files are on those 9 people that aren't going to jail, our numbers of officers that we need to keep this municipality going goes up. So we talked about that quite a bit. We talked about some legislation that he will be bringing forward, and hopefully it'll help a little bit. And we just kept it as local as we possibly could, and how the lack of jail is hurting this community, and the fact that the criminals that we're seeing are escalating their crime. You know, they're into selling drugs, making drugs. Most of them have weapon charges now and stuff, and we let them know that, you know, it's not acceptable. Sooner or later something bad is going to really happen in our community, and I'm sure that he could tell how serious we were. He couldn't see Counselor, and even Cliff was on the call, and Cliff couldn't hear. It was a real low quality event, but I talked to him again on Friday, and he said he could hear me and I could see him and hear him playing. So I guess the two of us, but you were playing to hear, but we just couldn't see you. So.
Yeah, and the very strange thing to that is I could see everything until that one staffer of his came on and it didn't work, and then it came on again and then it went off. So I assumed we were all off until I followed up with you guys, but I believe that my audio was working properly. He's heard me.
So we will be getting back to the minister and his department on a couple of asks that we put forward, and we're not stopping. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, because I don't care whose responsibility. If the bail is a constitutional thing, well, then they got to be able to bring some information to that bail hearing. That if they have 10 failure to appears, why would you release them again? So I think that they are working on some stuff right now, and we'll give them a couple of weeks, and we're going to call them back about a few other things that we brought up that deal only with our problem here. We weren't trying to take on the world here. We're just trying to figure out what the problems that we see right here with the lack of willingness on behalf of the justice system to put these criminals in jail. So I too was part of the Lemon Day, June 19th, the judging, and I really enjoyed it. I've done it before, and it's nice to see these young entrepreneurs. And then on the 24th, we had the wind up at the Pasanka Park. So the program itself, Community Futures, they brought some pizzas and some pops and brought all the kids and their mentors in, and they asked a bunch of questions and about what they've learned, and they had to finish up their books and what they would do in the future, and it was pretty impressive how much money they actually made, and you know, then they were sharing some money, and just to see the business attitudes. One group, they had been giving out coupons at school so their friends could get money off if they brought their parents to their lemonade stand and stuff. So all in all, it is a very good project, and you know, I have a soft spot for entrepreneurs, and especially young people that can see that they can make money and make a living on their own, and the fact that, you know, our department downstairs in Dale's department, they're passing out business license and stuff, and I hope next year that we get a little more opportunity, then we can get back to where we were, because last year before this got canceled, I think there was 19 stands that were people that were ready to go. So hopefully it all works out next year. So, and tonight's town council meeting. That's what I have. So that's it for our agenda. And if anybody else has anything, let's hear it now. If not, we're gonna go to a closed session for, discussion on its on its harmful to business interest of a third party, so. I'll take a motion to go into closed session. Counselor Waters, thank you very